Okay, let's see if we sound like a robot today. We do not sound like a robot today, so you know what that means. Hello, Genesis, and all your beautiful beings with the web buzz. Like to back with another live stream. How's it going, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Happy Read Wednesdays, everybody. How's it going? We are back again with another Read Wednesday. Now, usually in Read Wednesdays, we start with like some short stories and then we get into some comics and stuff like that. For reasons that are probably under my control, I'm quite tired today, so we're gonna have a short of Read Wednesdays today. I don't know if I necessarily woke up tired. I know I woke up real comfy and I was real upset about getting out of bed. But I definitely did like a workout and everything afterwards, and I'm just kind of like, I feel tired. So we're not gonna do a crazy long Read Wednesday today. Now, that being said, I have picked a visual novel and I don't know exactly how long it is. I think it shouldn't be too long, but it could still be a few hours. So we'll see. We'll see how we do. Because a part of me does want to do some voiceover auditions later, and I don't want to like tire myself out too much because I still gotta be productive today. Blech. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a good midweek, whatever it is, wherever you are in these times. I don't know, just in this time period. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I have been taking advantage a little bit. There's been a slight lull in some things, which just means that I should be doing other things. And so, you know, when you're like, oh, my plans got canceled, I could use this time to catch up on other stuff, or I could just goof off. The siren song of goofing off has been struck. Not that I haven't done anything productive, but it's just like, how many productive things do I want to do now that I have free time? Or do I actually just want to take some time to goof around? But, I've been taking advantage of some of this time to try and watch some shows that I have an interest in. And, Obi-Wan. I've been kind of keeping my eye on it because it started out, if you notice, the rating for the show when the first like 2 episodes came out was like, I don't know, 90, like 9.7, 9.8 or something like that. Like it's high, it's very high. Despite the goofy fucking chase scenes with Leia. Those ones are they're a little too much for me to like ignore. At times, I'm like, God, it's a child. I don't care if she's force sensitive. She's not using any force sensitive powers. It's just a kid. Just fucking catch the kid. Anyways, this last one, I will not spoil it overly much because I know a lot of people still haven't seen it yet because it just came out today. I like what they're doing with Obi-Wan generally. Which is good, because that's a big part of the show. With him kind of like trying to reconnect to his powers, his former self, trying to, you know, he improves. I would like to know why he suddenly became such a better shot in one episode. But beyond that, you know, that stuff I like. I'm enjoying, for the majority, I'm enjoying that stuff. What I have now dubbed the was it Quasi-Madobi-Wan scene in the 4th episode. I'm just like, you were doing so good. You're doing so good. Like the episode was pretty good overall. Like I was enjoying a reasonable amount of it, and then I'm supposed to believe that no one questioned that sight for how long, how many levels? They were sneaking around looking like that for how long? Come on, Disney. Really? Really? If you want to get away with 90s cartoon level shenanigans, make a 90s cartoon. Don't set up a serious Star Wars world and then try and slip in 90s cartoon shit in the middle of a serious episode. I mean, there's torture, for God's sake. There's implied torture, for God's sake. Anyways, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but I'm just, I'm getting heated. Anyways, this is just me. This is just me powering up for the visual novel, okay? I'm just like Super Saiyan powering up over my angst of my fandoms that I agree or disagree with. I'm just kind of like, it's so unbelievable! Yeah, that's me. That's what I'm doing right now. Anyways, let's get into a visual novel, shall we? Oh, God. Silly times. Okay, so I, in theory, could have this all set up to go, and then I just have to set up the audio for it. Okay, so let me just, here, we can stop that, and then we have to go into here. We go into here, and then we, do the thing. And we add, no, not that, how do I, delete, remove, cancel. We go add, oh fuck, I did it again. I did the exact same thing twice. Okay, hold on. Right here. Stillwater. Add. There it is. Got it. Yeah, I think that's everything. We hit OK. And then if I can find it, I don't know if I'll be able to find it, we'll try. Ooh, we do find it. I think. Did that work? Have to be clicked on it, maybe? Oh, there it is. Aha. Ha 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 ha. Yes. Okay. So, game audio, mic audio, game is on stream. We got the other stuff set up over there. We sent out all of the notifications. We're good to go. Okay, good. I've checked my boxes. I think we should be good to start. I think. All right, start. I don't know how much audio there is, if any. There is audio. Okay, good. We'll go full screen for now. That's fine. Volume. Next, screen shake? Sure. Self-voicing? I have no idea. Okay. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out how loud we need to be. Break room? Start. This is a work of fiction. The resemblance to any real-life people is purely coincidental. This game contains depiction of horror, mature themes, violence, and strong language. Your discretion is advised. Caretaker. I'm sorry, but I can't stay here anymore, Nina. I feel like I'm going crazy. Nina. Calm down. If we just talk it out. So many strange things keep happening after another. Every day there's a damn dripping sound. I thought it was just something leaking at first, but checked every faucet, every ceiling, every pipeline, and still I hear it everywhere, constantly echoing in my ears. Nina. Oh, but the water. I find random pools of water just appear out of nowhere, just like the dripping. But it's at night. It's at night when it comes. Nina. I don't know if it's my paranoia, but I swear I heard footsteps walking along the hallway, walking on pools of water. They walk. And they walk. upstairs, then downstairs. And upstairs and downstairs 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 and upstairs and downstairs. It goes on and on and on and on like that. How does it come to? But however, it does come to an end. And it ends all in front of your grandfather's room. Nina, I know that this is a lot, but you have to believe me. No matter how many times I clean, it just won't end. I can't stay here any longer. I'm sorry, Nina. Nina. It's okay. I understand. Thank you for taking care of my grandfather. Nina, please listen to me. I don't know what's happening around here, but... The woman on the phone cautiously looks around before speaking again in a hushed tone. Something terrible is lurking through this house. I don't know what it is, but please, as soon as you get back, take your grandfather and just leave this place. I can't just leave. That's my home. Please, Nina, this place is not safe. I don't know what you saw, but I can't just leave things like this. It's my home. It's my home. Diner, 7 a.m. Amid a foggy morning, there sits a man by the corner of a booth. He drinks black coffee and depending on his mood, occasionally orders a donut. And today, it was just black coffee. Hugo. I swear, I've never seen that amount of paperwork in my life. Freaking mountains worth of it. You're a valued member of our team, Hugo. My foot. I'm starting to believe that I was bamboozled into joining their agency. Hugo Laurent. Hugo Laurent. Age 30. Takes a good look at his cup of joe and chugs it all in one sitting. He then continues to grumble to himself after last night's grueling work at the office. I really need to find a different job. As he contemplates his poor life choices, he looks out towards the early mist. There's something inherently terrifying about the fog to him, how it engulfed everything and nothing. Even if it disappears, it always leaves behind traces. Proof of it remaining. Even a quaint little town like this, I can't even run from my fate, I guess. Ooh. Smooth jazz. Get that in my soul. Hugo finally stares at the compiled newspaper clippings he put together. Some of them from recent events, but mainly all were headlines of missing persons cases. Bring that music volume up a little bit. And the rest should be fine. No matter how many times I see this, it's still just as hard as, it's just as hard to look at. Let me hear what it sounds like on stream, actually. That seems like a balanced amount of jazz. You like jazz? Because I do. Fixating case after case. Fixating case after case, he can't help but remind himself that there is a reason for all of this. An all too personal reason. Seeing strange things comes with a price. In the end, I'm the one doing this to myself. Sounds rough. Mind if I join? An annoyingly familiar voice interrupts his train of thought. He slowly looks up to see the one responsible, although reluctantly. Good morning, Hugo. Hugo scowls and turns away from him. He then gathers the files and shoves it back into the binder. Meanwhile, the tall man takes this as an initiative and sits at the opposite end of the booth. He greets the waitress passing by and orders himself a hefty body breakfast special with an extra plate. As usual, the waitress is happy to oblige and goes back to the counter to relay his order. The man then looks back at Hugo. He sees the empty cup and now jumbled newspaper clippings, all the while Hugo is trying to ignore him. You really should eat something with that black coffee. Not ordering any donuts today? I'm fine, Noah. I'm just not in the mood, okay? Not even a little? There is a momentary silence between them before Noah disturbs it once more. Well, too bad for you. I ordered a big breakfast for the two of us. Two? As if the world could grace Noah with an even more perfect punchline, the food arrives. Why the hell did you order for the two of us? Just eat what you want to eat. Don't worry about me. Whoa, this looks so delicious. Or sorry. Wow, this looks so delicious, right, Hugo? You even listening to me? Come on. We both know that if you don't eat now, who knows when you will, and I'm not about to let you faint again. So open wide. Noah Dillon, age 27, a natural-born charmer. He's just as equally persuasive as he is threatening. Threatening? With a pensive look, Hugo finally gives in and eats a generous spoonful without further complaints. It's good. Right? Good food will always help cheer you up. Damn him. I got swept away again. Oh, by the way, Chief will be out of business. Chief will be out for a business trip. She's mentioned it will be for a couple of days. When did she tell you this? I didn't hear anything about it. Yesterday, I think. Yesterday? So she told me to sort out the cabinet yesterday. She didn't mention anything about a business trip. I guess it was a pretty sudden one. Well, I mean, she did tell me to tell you. And lucky me, I know where you go every morning. You know what? I'm not surprised anymore. Well, what do you want to do? We technically have the day off. I'm gonna head back to the office. There's a couple of boxes I didn't get a chance to sort out. In that case, I'll come with you. Why? You could just rest for the day. And pass up the opportunity to get to know you better? Quit it. After their enlightening banter, the two of them finish their breakfast, pay for their meals, and head to Hugo's car. I fucking wish I had Noah's confidence. To just, like, invite myself into somebody else's life and be like, we're gonna be friends now. That is assuming Noah isn't a serial killer. As Noah opens the door to the passenger seat, he notices a bloodhound sleeping inside. The big dog stirs at the sound of the car opening and lazily stares at Noah. I'm sorry, big guy. He then closes the door while trying not to make too much noise to disrupt its occupant. Kobe. At the sound of his name, his heavy eyelids slowly peek to see who calls for him. It is his one and only partner, his human. As if finally realizing who he is or where he is, the old bloodhound stirs up from his sleep, pounces at Hugo, and proceeds to wag his tail uncontrollably. Bark. Good morning again, Kobe. Had a nice nap. Kobe. 8 years old. Hugo's most faithful and loving partner in crime. Has the biggest tendency to just sleep all over the place. Noah, who is witnessing all of this from the back seat, chuckles to himself. He's amazed and slightly defeated at Hugo's sudden surge of energy. Ha! It doesn't matter how many times I try. When it comes to boosting up his mood, no one can beat Kobe. Agency, 7:50 a.m. Is it Colby? That L is throwing me off. Because Kobe doesn't have an L, but Colby doesn't sound like a real name to me. The three headed back to the office and the space just the same as Hugo left it. A decent, organized mess. To his credit, for the amount of boxes he painstakingly went through, he believes he did a fair job. Albeit, could have been better. Wow, you already outdid yourself, Hugo. It looks less crowded. Oh, shut up, will you? I said I was gonna get to it. Thanks, boy. Before Hugo could continue to give deserved head pats, he noticed someone. A woman standing timidly peering outside from the storefront. The woman appeared a bit frantic. Disheveled and wearing ill-fitted clothes, she appears to be distressed about something. When she finally makes eye contact with Hugo, she immediately rushes in. I'm so sorry. I know that the close sign is up, but I saw you come in and Are you alright, miss? I need your help. My grandfather, he... Before she can continue, Noah swiftly intervenes. It's okay. We'll hear what you have to say. So please, why don't you take a seat? Noah gestures to one of the empty chairs. The poor woman hesitates for a moment before heavily sighing in relief. He then walks towards the corner of the room and sits on the sofa. Can you start off by telling us your name? I'm sorry for earlier. My name is Nina Mortimer. I need help watching over my grandfather tonight. Watching over your grandfather? Yes. I'm sorry, Miss Mortimer, but I don't quite understand. Is he in danger? I'm afraid he is. Hmm? Miss Mortimer, if that is the case, wouldn't contacting the police be better? No! I've tried requesting their help, but they all give me the same answer. There's nothing they can do about it. If only I knew who Lewis was. Lewis? Nina fidgets at the name. She looks to the side before reaching out from her bag for an antique letter. I fucking love the music. It's almost giving me like Hollow Knight vibes in some places. Oh man. Listen, is there an audio file for this game? Because I'd get it. And I'm only like 10 minutes in. My grandfather, he received a cryptic message the other day. It didn't come with an address or the name of the sender. However, the only thing I did pick up was that name. As she hands over the letter, Hugo notices her hand slightly shaking. Whatever lies in this note must have shaken her still badly. Mechanically, Hugo removes the contents of the envelope and unfolds it. At first glance, it seems like a normal written message. A person named Louise? I'm not sure if it's Louis or Louise. Asking the other, Henry, to come meet him by the lake. Okay, Louis. To come meet him by the lake at midnight. You need to share something important with him. However, what's eerily striking about this letter is not the message itself. Rather, the bottom of the page, a sentence far more disturbing is written. I am coming for you, Henry. Were there any other letters like this? Yes, a few of them. I thought it was a sick joke at first, but this one. This one was different. Up until now, I've never heard of anyone by that name. But a relative, or not a relative, or a family friend. They clearly know who my grandfather is. If I don't do something about this, I'll lose. I'll lose him too. Just by uttering the words alone, Nina breaks down. Hiding away her tears, tear-streaked face, she begins to quietly sob to herself. As an act of comfort, Kobe sits closely to Nina, while Noah fetches tissues for her. Hugo, on the other hand, is puzzled. This very well could have been a prank, but she seems certain. Certain that whoever or whatever this Lewis person is, they're coming. Do you want more tissues? I'll do it. I'll take on your case. For a moment, silence fills the room. Only stares are directed at Hugo until Nina finally stands up and walks towards him. You'll take it? Hugo simply nods. Thank you. Thank you! You don't know how much this means to me. We're glad to help, Miss... Nina. Nina is fine. Well, Nina, we'll do our best. Nina slightly smiles at Hugo before reaching into her bag once more and taking out a note. This is my address. I'll be sure to greet you once when you get there, Detective. She politely bows once more before heading to her car and drives back home. Once out of sight, Hugo turns to look at his clustered desk. Still messy, but presentable. I guess I'll have to sort these out later. Again. Car, 5:30 p.m. From the ongoing downpour to the quiet hum of the car, they sit in silence. Still miles off from the destination, Hugo constantly checks the rearview mirror. Noah, who usually chats his ear off by now, sits completely still. He looks at the passing streetlights, reserved and distant. Hugo. Hey, you look quieter than usual. What's wrong? Noah. This is a surprise. Have you been looking at me, Hugo? No, you idiot. You usually just talk a lot, that's all. So you miss me talking a lot? Hugo. Just say it. Noah. I didn't want to offend Nina earlier, so I kept quiet until she finished. But it's her last name that caught me off guard. Have you heard of the Mortimers? They're a pretty distinguished family. Well, they used to be. What do you mean? They've been struck with so many tragedies that over time people began to believe they were cursed or something. Every other year, I would see a headline on the local news about one of the family members' deaths. And you know what's strange? All of them have been labeled as accidents. No foul play. No nothing. Just another unfortunate event for the family. Maybe I understand why she wouldn't go to the police. You probably thought they'd perceive her as a paranoid or hysterical. Or worse, crazy. I can't imagine all of this. I can't imagine all this for Nina. And most of all, who knows what we'll find there. Is that why you decided to come with me? Well, partially. I'm worried about you, though. Think of it this way. I'm your appointed driver. When you decide to do some pretty reckless shit, I'll be there to drive you to the local hospital. Ugh. Besides, two are better than one. Exactly. I was fine with Kobe coming with me. Noah. Well, have you heard that 3 is better than 2? Mortimer Estate, 6 p.m. Passing through countless dirt roads and steep cliffs, the estate reveals itself beyond the evergreen. Nestled and tucked away from the prying eyes, it stands tall, looming from a distance. Hugo and Noah could only gaze at the sheer scale of the manor as they parked adjacent to Nina's car. Wow. And to think she came all this way just to request us? It looks more, it took us more than a couple of hours to get here. Hugo. Maybe she really didn't have a choice. What do you mean? Come on, she's waiting for us. Immediately after exiting the driver's seat, a sudden sharp pain weighs heavy on Hugo's chest. Grasping tightly at his coat, he begins to gasp for air. His gaze hazes as he leans close to the car. Like a fish drawn out from sea, he's desperately heaving. But this ache he harbors pales in comparison to a pain far more excruciating. Is it the house? No, something far more sinister. He feels it. Someone is watching him. A piercing gaze fixed on him. Like leering at a bug and waiting to strike. I'll never forgive you. What the hell? Damn it already! Damn it already! I need to hurry, or else. Hey, are you alright? Noah looks out to him, snapping him out of his fixated trance. Kobe nudges his head against Hugo, whining of concern over his partner's well-being. Did you hear that just now? Hear what? That voice! It was so close to my ear, Is everything alright? Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me. I'm just a bit winded out from the trip, that's all. I'd be happy to make you a coffee at the very least. If it's no trouble. No, not at all. It's the least I can do. Once again, the subtle unease from Nina surfaces. But before Hugo could get a chance to look further into it, she walks off towards the front porch without saying another word. Are you sure you're alright? You sounded like you were choking earlier. I said I'm fine. Besides, we're already here. Can't back out now. Listen to me. I think you should... Noah abruptly cuts his lecture short as he notices Nina stopping by the front door. I thought I saw something earlier in the... Screen shaking? Oh, yeah.
Self-voicing enabled. Toggle self-voicing selected. Selected. ESC. Noah abruptly cuts his lecture short as he notes. Self-voicing disabled.
I wasn't sure if I wanted that. I've decided I don't want that. Noah abruptly cuts his lecture short and notices Nina stopping by the front door. She stands there silently, as if contemplating something. I know this may sound rude, but I didn't get a chance to know your names. Well, you were pretty well out of it when you walked in. I'm really sorry about that. No worries. This is Detective Hugo Laurent. His assistant, Kobe. And I'm his second assistant, Noah de Leon. It seems so surreal, just like a cartoon. Nina meekly smiles before turning away from them. I haven't been quite honest with you, Detective Laurent. Just like before, as if carefully choosing her next words, she decides that in this situation, words are not enough. You'll see for yourself what I mean. And with that, Nina enters the house, leaving the three to follow behind. Hugo's about to enter through the foyer when he feels a tug on his arm. Don't forget what I told you. If something happens, let me know. Right away. You'll be the first to know. And with that, Noah releases his grip on Hugo. They proceed to head in, not knowing what awaits them beyond the door. Agreed with a brightly lit hallway, Hugo notes that the interior is just as grand. Oh, this can go away now. I don't need this. Adorned with floral accents and antique paintings, it exudes an elegant charm found only in a replacement house such as this, or a resplendent house such as this. However, Hugo notices something even more distinct than the splendor. This house is much more terrifying inside than out. Please, come this way. Bracing themselves, they enter the dimly lit drawing room. At first glance, Hugo could not discern the silhouette situated at the far corner. However, on closer inspection, he now understands the reason for all of Nina's unsettling vagueness. Grandfather, we have guests. I'm sorry, that's a grandfather? Sitting on the armchair is a young man. Yep. He's dressed in a white collared down dress shirt, tucked into black slacks and black penny loafers. Staring only at a window, the young man sits there dazed, with little acknowledgement for people around him. Still, motionless, like a doll. Grandpa, these are the people I spoke of. This is Detective Laurent and his two assistants, Kobe and Noah. They're going to help us. Henry. Even after introducing them to the head of the Mortimer estate, Hugo Noah could not help but feel unnerved. The man before them is supposed to be frail and older than any of them, and yet he remains forever unchanging, forever young. They've come a long way, so I'll be making some coffee. Would you like some, Grandpa? Henry. The young man still does not reply back, never glancing at Nina or anyone else in the room, only fixed on the rain. I'll be sure to make a cup for you two. He then timidly gestures to Hugo and Noah back to the foyer. Bearing more questions, the two follow Nina outside. But before they leave the drawing room, Hugo takes one last look at the young man. There's an all too familiar air about Henry Mortimer. His eyes. His eyes, they're similar to his own. Whatever he must be looking, or must be longing for, Hugo knows it will not end well. Nina, that man. Yes, he's my grandfather, the one I asked you all to watch over. I know this is hard to believe, but Nina draws something out from her pocket. It's an antique picture of a young man with slick black hair, wearing a luxurious suit. He appears to be poised and refined, a complete contrast to the current Henry Mortimer. This isn't much to go by, but I swear this is the same person. Then why does he look so young? It happened a few nights ago. I was on my way to get a cup of tea when I heard a loud thud coming from my grandfather's room. As word, something fell over, so I went to go check. When I opened the door, I found him collapsed on the ground. I rushed to help him, but when I did, he looked so different. So many things were rushing to my head, and yet he felt so familiar to me. He wore the same clothes that my grandpa wore that night. And his face, I recognized his face. He just looked younger. It was the same night I found the letter. It was next to him, already opened. Sorry again for all of this. No matter who I went to, they either said something was wrong with me or my family. With everything going on, maybe they're right. The pools of water, the dripping sounds, the ladder, and now this? Maybe my family really is They're not. Curses aren't real. Detective? I think we easily get too involved in believing that sort of thing exists. In reality, the ones who fixate on it feeds off of it. Rumors, doubts, lies, all of those things are what they want to become real. Deep-rooted emotions like that can't possibly be healed or fixed right away. But like a curse, those emotions drag other people down with them. Personally, I think you were caught up in all of this. But I assure you, we'll see this through. For you and your grandfather. Thank you. Good. Now, our first priority is to find out more about Lewis. Nina, the letter you showed us back at the agency, do you have it with you? Yes, it's here. Do you mind if I borrow it for a bit? I'll be sure to give it back. Of course. I'll check upstairs. Noah, you and Kobe check the ground floor. Got it. Before they leave to do their own investigating, Hugo grabs a hold of Noah's shoulder. He leans in close enough for Nina not to hear. Keep a close eye on Mr. Mortimer and Nina. Especially Nina. Okay. I'm counting on you. You too, boy. And with that, Hugo heads upstairs, starting his investigation. Ooh. Oh, just one click. There we go. Mortimer Estate, 11:30 p.m. After searching vigorously through each of the rooms, he knew his findings would eventually lead him here. This is it. Hugo walks towards the nearest lampshade and opens it. Dimly illuminated, he sees the extent of how lavishly this part of the house is. From customized drapes to vintage furniture. Everything here exudes that extravagance. Much like the interior Hugo sees so far, he finds this one, in particular, reeks of it. Plastered from the wall to wall, a sense of gloom lingers. It's as if the room itself is moldering, despite its preserved nature. I need to hurry. I don't want to stay here for too long. Mortimer Estate, 11:50 p.m. He searches and searches, still no sign of anything. But not one thing pertaining to Lewis. Damn it, nothing? It's as if it's cleared out everything. It's as if he cleared out everything, just blank everywhere. No, it has to be here. It's just missing something. He paused again before remembering the letter. It's the only proof Lewis exists so far. Let's try to read it again. Maybe I overlooked it. He takes the letter out from the envelope. He notices a change within. Bearing no foreboding threat at the bottom of the page, it looks no foreboding threat at the bottom of the page. It looks just like a regular letter. What the? If you can't come, then I understand. Pretty dreary after all. But if I can ask one last favor of you, could you keep my locket? I know this is selfish of me, but I'd like for you to have it. I'll be happy knowing it's with you. Thank you for everything, Henry. Forever yours, Louis. Is it not Louise? I'm beginning to feel like it might be a Louise, but I'm not sure. Is it the same Louis? I guess Louis could also be, it's a unisex name, so yeah. I thought it was, I thought he was the cause of all this. I don't understand. Without warning, the sound of a click can be heard across the bedroom. As if something unlocked itself. Hugo turns around and sees the foot of the bed, a chest. Unlike the other furniture, its dark and rustic features have not been maintained well. Left to rot on its own. Throwing himself, he opens the chest. Inside, scrambled together, are bunches of notebooks and small trinkets. Hugo continues to rummage through when he stumbles across an old newspaper article. Young man found dead by the lake. An unidentified young man was found on the morning of XXXXXXXX, 3 days prior to his death, according to the police. Ruled out as a suicide, police have claimed that the troubled youth drowned himself. This certainly is a tragic loss, an unfortunate event indeed, XXXX comments. No claims of his body has been made yet. Lewis. By the corner of Hugo's eye, he spots a bright glint buried beneath the clutter. He reaches for it. A locket of a brilliant gold shines unblemished, retaining a timeless luster. Inside, it safeguards a picture of a young man with glasses smiling brightly. This must be the locket he was talking about. It's so pretty. I'm surprised it still shines like this. This picture. Did he put this here? No. And it might have been Henry. But why? Why would he store it away like this? What should I do? Take the locket, leave the locket. Here's the interactive part where I proudly fuck up and die. My first instinct is to take the locket. Because clearly, if it is Henry's not particularly happy with this situation. So the locket probably will do us more good with us. I should probably hold on to this for now. Hugo's about to put everything back into the chest when he feels a wet and cold sensation crawling up his leg. What? Water? A pool of water relentlessly spreads across the floor, already seeping into the chest. Damn it, no! Suddenly the lights shut off. A scream is heard, followed by a myriad of shouts. Hugo's about to call out to Noah, but stops at the sight of pale feet before him. I think I just died. Looming over him stands a tall and ominous figure. His face is shrouded completely dark. Complete darkness, devoid of any human emotion. It appears as a young man, but Hugo knows that it's far from it. No. This very thing is trying to imitate a human form. Trying to be human. Hugo could only stare back. Paralyzed with fear, he is forced to watch the horror as it slowly creeps towards him. And just like before, the sensation of someone staring at him from within. But this time it draws nearer, inching ever so closely. The words to call out to Kobe and Noah fail to reach out. Lodged in his throat, he struggles in pain. With his breathing shallow, he tries to force his body to move. And then it stops. Looking down at Hugo, filled with nothing but malice and contempt, it speaks. What? Huh? What? I saw a you and then it just went away. All of a sudden the door on the bedroom slams shut and entirely disappears. And the entity disappears. The tension from his body finally releases its agonizing grip, and he gasps desperately for air. His vision blurs, and breathing jagged, he staggers towards the door. He yanks at the handle several times, but it's tightly jammed. Fuck. Noah! Kobe! To his dismay, he is only greeted with silence at the other end of the door. Damn it! From a distance, he finally hears the sound of Kobe, relentless barking as he gets further away from the house. Hugo rushes towards the window. He tries to pry it open, but just like the door, a heavy force prevents him from doing so. Fuck this. Frantically, looking around the room, he spots a nearby chair. Without a moment sooner, Hugo grabs the chair and starts to strike the window. Bit by bit, the window cracks. It gets larger, each blow splitting off a smaller piece. What the hell is this thing made out of? Still trying to catch his breath, he musters all the strength he has left for a final blow. Damn you, just break already! Clearing out the remaining glass shards, Hugo peers his head out to see any railings he can grab a hold of. However, he discovers instantly the wall adjacent is covered in ivy. Despite the heavy rain has drastically become, he reaches out for it, grabbing a handful of vines. Carefully, he climbs out the window, gripping tightly and making sure he doesn't lose his footing. Yet to his luck, the patch of vines he clutches starts to tear away from the wall. Out of desperation, he struggles to find his grip on another, but fails when his hands slip out of reach. Shit! Climbing wildly as he loses grip on the ivy, he crash landing onto a thicket of bushes. Air forced out of him, he heaves uncontrollably, trying to even out his breathing. But even that is laborious, and immense pain spreads across not only his back, but his entire body. God, I'm getting too old for this. Although his body screams out in pain, he forces himself up. There's still time. I can do this. I have to do this. With staggering feet and a haggard breathing, he makes his way to the place where it all started. To the lake, where this tragedy starts and ends. Mortimer Estate, 12:01 a.m. Finally, entering through the park, Hugo calls out to Kobe and Noah. Kobe! Noah! Where are you? He hears faintly the sound of barking and echoes of people yelling in the distance. He rushes towards the echo, guiding him through the downpour. With his heart racing and blood rushing to his head, he finds his way to the lake. Drawing closer, he sees Nina giving chase to her grandfather. Unfortunately, she doesn't get too close. She doesn't get too far as Noah stops her. Grandpa, stop! Grandpa! Let me go! My grandpa, he's... Nina, please! It's dangerous. You'll get hurt too. I don't care. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. It's at that instant that Hugo trudges against the water, pursuing in Nina's stead. Hugo? No, don't! Please fall deaf to his ear. Please, sorry, I don't know why. Please fall deaf to his ears. Not even the whine and worries cries of a partner could make him turn back. Determined, he struggles further in. Nearing the deep end, he sees Hugo Mortimer gazing directly at the abyss. He looks even more frail and disheveled, as if all the life has been drained from him, surrendering it all to the lake. Before Henry could lean in, Hugo reaches out and tugs at his arm. Mr. Mortimer, listen to me. Nothing is waiting for you down there, so please, come back to the shore with me. Henry. Motionless and unresponsive, he still stares deeply into the water. There are so many things we cannot afford to lose in our lives. And you're one of them. To Nina, you're all she has left. She needs you, Mr. Mortimer. Hugo felt it. A slight jolt from Henry's arm, as if stirred by the mention of Nina. He slowly turns to face Hugo. Nina? Now, just as cruel and violent as the storm, Henry jerks back, wrenching his arm away from Hugo's hold on him. All of this is my fault. If only I got to Lewis sooner, then none of this would have happened. Henry inches ever closer to the edge. Lewis, I'm sorry. I should have. Should have what? Gone in his stead? Gone with him? You know that wouldn't have resolved anything. Not for you or Lewis. I read what he wrote to you those years ago. I read what he wrote to you those years ago. He understood if you didn't want to come see him. The thing is, Mr. Mortimer, Lewis never thought anything less of you. The locket is proof of that. Lewis' locket. Yes, it's a symbol of his love for you. That's why you don't have to shoulder all of that pain by yourself anymore. You can talk about it. About you and Lewis. All of it. Together. Hugo extends not only his hand to him, but a promise. A promise that Henry had yearned for so long. A way to forgive himself. He hesitates at first. What fool believes in a deserved forgiveness? Such a thing doesn't exist. Yet despite everything, Hugo still reaches out to him. A stranger. Maybe he can be forgiven. Just as he was about to reach out for Hugo's hand, a hand slithers around Henry instead. Its arms unnatural contort around him, while its head perches at his shoulder. This thing. This Lewis is no longer pretending to be human. With piercing, cold, green eyes, it glares directly at Hugo, mocking him, cursing him, whispering nothing but despair, wishing nothing but despair. He can be saved. We can be saved. We can be forgiven. Hugo. There is only one true way out of this. I will share with you the most. Before Hugo could reach out for Henry's hand, he disappears into the water. Mr. Mortimer! Without hearing the anguished cries and despair pleas, Hugo dives after him into the abyss. 12:30 a.m. Plunging to the icy water, Hugo feels shocks running rampant through his body, like spikes continually piercing through his legs to the tips of his fingers. Fiercely and unyielding, his chest tightens and his heart races as he begins to kick his legs, hoping whichever way he goes, he'll find his way to Henry. Swimming deeper and deeper in, he sees faintly a figure slowly descending to the water. As he finally gets closer, Henry, long snake-like arms stretch across the void and grab Hugo's neck, apparently squeezing all the air out from him. He tries desperately to wrench his hands away, but with each struggle, Hugo's movements begin to weigh heavier and heavier. Lewis! Where are you, Lewis? It's looking for Lewis? Digging deep into his coat pocket, he grabs tightly in his hand the locket that Henry kept and had long forgotten, holding it out as it shines ever so brightly in the dark. Ah, there you are! He releases his grip on Hugo, and instead reaches out for the locket. Seeing this chance, he drops the chain and kicks with all of his might and grabs Henry's arm. With his heart burning and his body screaming, he swims desperately to the surface. Almost there. I have to! As the light from the surface begins to blur, Hugo makes one last attempt to reach for it. His limbs worn out and his energy spent, this is all he can do. before he loses his consciousness, he notices a figure swimming towards him, getting closer and closer. And then everything fades to black. Drifting along with what feels like an endless sea, Hugo courses through waves after wave. Not knowing where he's going, or caring for that matter. All he knows is that he's very, very tired. How long has it been since he had a good night's rest? Been so long. Maybe I should take that rest now. I'd like that so much. I agree that you deserve it, but not here. Sorry for startling you. I just want to see you before I go. Louis? Done so much for me and Henry. Thank you. No worries. From a far-off distance, a voice cries out to him, beckoning for him to come back. Well, I guess this is it. Take care, Hugo. Lake. With his eyes closed and his senses still returning, he feels a constant tug and lick of a certain bloodhound. Whining as he tries to wake up his partner. Hugo! He also hears another familiar voice, too annoyingly close for comfort. Eyes shot right open, he jerks up. Confused, Hugo looks around before he coughs up the remaining water in his lungs. Are you alright? Noah starts to pat his back, while Kobe continues to whine over Hugo. What happened? Where's Mr. Mortimer? He's safe. So is Nina. They're both okay. The police and the ambulance should be arriving soon. Oh, thank goodness. Isn't there more you have to say to me? Instead of, thank goodness? I swear, you don't listen to a damn word I say! I'm sorry, Noah. Exhausted, he lets out a sigh. He then continues to pat Hugo's back aggressively. Then someone approaches them. Detective Lawrence? Oh, Nina. There's someone I want you to meet. Behind her stands an elderly man. Frail in stature, he timidly looks to the side, pensively as he ponders to himself. Although his youth has long faded, his eyes are what catches Hugo's attention. They're no longer a piercing and vicious green. Only eyes just like Nina's. Hello, Mr. Mortimer. Detective. I never got the chance to say goodbye to him. Always thought about it. Every day. What if Louis lived on this world? In this world? What if he stayed a little longer with me? It's because of that constant mindset. I dragged everyone down. And I kept hurting not only me, but Nina especially. I was the one who kept hurting her. The one to blame for all of this. But you, someone that I've never met, still went out of their way to save me. Not knowing my burdens or my faults. Thank you. Hugo reaches out to Henry and smiles brightly at him. It's my pleasure, sir. But before he lets go, Henry tugs at Hugo's hand one last time. I hope that someday, you too will overcome it. The next day, 8 a.m. Well, good morning, Hugo. You're bright and early. Morning. With much fervor and haste, Hugo resumes writing on his notepad. Although by closer inspection, he looks like he is going to combust any minute. Are you writing up the report? Without looking up, Hugo responds back. Yeah, for the most part. You still need to write yours too. I will. But since I haven't had breakfast yet, and I don't like eating by myself... Let me guess. 2 is better than 1. Bingo! Wow, Hugo. You're really catching on. I'm so proud of you. Shut up, will you? I swear. If only I hadn't fallen off from the goddamn window, maybe my report would have been shorter. Before Noah could begin to cut the bacon, he pauses at the mention of Hugo's report. Oh yeah, by the way, mind telling me what happened to the Mortimer's window? I broke it. Well, that's obvious to me. What I don't understand is, why is it broken? Do you know how much it costs to repair a window like that? I know. It was really dumb of me. I'm sorry. Besides, I told Mr. Mortimer about it before we left. Honestly, I was expecting an earful from him. And also the bill. And? Surprisingly enough, he said it was okay. So what? You just called it a day after all of that? Thank you so much, Mr. Mortimer. You broke it, you pay for it. Would you chill? Of course I'll pay for it. Each time I kept insisting, he just shrugged it off. Said that he already went through a lot with them, so it was nothing in comparison. We already went through a lot for them, so it was nothing by comparison. You know what? He's right. After all we went through, I deserve at least a nap. Hugo puts down his pen and proceeds to head for the couch. Kobe follows after him. Wait, what about breakfast? We'll eat it later. Nap time now. Heavily sighing, Noah sets aside the food on his desk and joins the two on the couch. I'm getting old. I mean, you are old. Shut up. Kobe whines, asking for head scratches. Oh, sorry, boy. Silently, Hugo scratches the back of Kobe's ear, and he leans close to Noah. Hugo. You know, I'm glad that you came along yesterday. Oh? What's this? You getting chummy with me now? Call it chummy or whatever. But I really mean it. If you hadn't saved us back there. Look, I told you before. I'll be there whenever you get yourself into reckless shit. Besides, didn't you say this was nap time? Get some rest. You deserve it. You too. A calm silence fills the room as the three fall deeper into sleep. No big parties or celebrations. Just each other's comfort and sharing this small but rewarding night rest. Good end, a night's rest. Thank you for playing. Ah, that was so good. I love that. That was so good. That was so good. Man, what a lovely time. Also, I like how, good ending. You didn't die. You didn't drown. Congratulations. Although it's possible that Hugo might have rescued us, or Noah might have rescued us, but then Mr. Mortimer definitely would have died. Man, I got a little bit choked up there, honestly. That was, I really liked that. I did. That bit of like, I don't know, the whole like, can people be forgiven? And like, here's someone who doesn't know me at all coming to my rescue. Like, can I trust in this? Can I believe in this? Am I allowed to believe in this? that was nice. That was nice. That was a really good time. I guess I don't know. I don't know if I'm very tempted just to end it here. This would be an extraordinarily short stream. But this was just so nice. It's such a nice little story. And I don't wanna sorrow for anything else. I don't wanna play any wacky games or shoot 'em ups or anything. I think I just want to leave it here. I did say it was going to be a short stream. I thought it was going to be at least like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but that was really nice. I know that with the Read Wednesdays, it's always very it's pretty all over the place, you know, like things definitely they go all over the place. Sometimes you get, you know, some comedy, sometimes you get some silliness, sometimes we have technical difficulties, sometimes we have silly games or horror games or whatever, but I feel like sometimes I struggle to do the Read Wednesdays because I'm just never really, it's not planned, right? Like I don't plan these very far ahead of time. Not that I plan most things ahead of time. But these ones in particular, I kind of just go. Seat of my pants, just go. Just see what happens, where we go, where we end up. And it's really led me to some fun places. It reminds me how much I actually like reading and stories and things, and I just haven't had time to enjoy a lot of them. You know, life gets busy, you end up, you know, doing work stuff and health stuff and bills and whatever else. Like, there's just all these things going on, and, you know, maybe you get locked into certain, like, you know, your escapes would be them like shows or games and books and stuff like that, but sometimes there's other things that you've forgotten about that you really enjoy but just have kind of relegated or sidelined. And I feel like this is one of those things that I'd forgotten about. You know, I spend so much time doing like email reading and articles and stuff like that I don't get to do these fun little, like, you know, afternoon binges and stuff like that. When I was younger, I used to read webcomics so much, and I fucking loved reading webcomics. I would have like a whole list of comics that I would read all the time. Some of them I'd binge, some of them I'd read, you know, each page as they came out. And like some of them were horror, some of them were there's a decent amount of comedy. There was a lot that had, like, you know, slice of life or like emotional storylines and stuff like that. And it was so much fun. So this kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Is being able to stumble onto something, someone else's creation, someone else's story, and just kind of sinking in for a little while and having a good time. Well, this is fun. I hope that you guys did enjoy. Those of you who were either watching live or in the VODs. We'll see how soon we get to more Read Wednesdays. I'm trying to balance a lot right now, and sometimes the Read Wednesdays do get sidelined because I'm doing work or wanting to do auditions or what have you. There's a lot of accounts, a lot of things, a lot of social medias, a lot to keep up with. So we'll see what we can get around to again. But we will definitely try to do more of these. Yeah, I think the last couple of times Read Wednesday was I don't know how long it's been. We didn't do it last Wednesday because I was working on audiobook stuff. But we'll see how the audiobook schedule balances out, because now I'm waiting for them to get me more stuff to work on, so I don't know how long that's going to take. So we might have more free time. I don't know. It really depends. But thank you, everyone. I really appreciate folks checking these out. And we'll be back on Friday night for some more Gloomhaven. with the gang. I'm gonna try and add in something else, a little new overlay, and see if it's something we want to keep around. But we'll see. It is not solely reliant on me, so I can't guarantee things. But we'll be back for that on Friday, and then actually no, I'm back tomorrow. Actually, wait, shit. D&D is tomorrow. They got moved from Monday, so we'll be over on Randolph the Gray's channel, streaming that tomorrow night at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. Yeah, we just finished the Temple of what's his name? What's his name? the inventor god, the forge god, the Greek Hephaestus. Just finished the Temple of Hephaestus, kind of. We'll see what is happening after that, because we're still kind of in the temple, but leaving. I don't know. Anyways, that's happening tomorrow, and then co-op night Friday, and then we'll be back on Sunday for Star Wars Sunday. We actually got a lot of streaming coming up, so don't miss it. Okay, well, thanks everybody. Hope you guys have a good rest of your evenings, a good continuation of your week on the way to the weekend, and I will see all of you in... Oh, hold on. I can do this. I will see all of you in the country. Peace out. I didn't do it right. I didn't do it right. I'm so sorry. I tried. What did I do? No, that's not what did I turn off? What did I even turn off? Oh god. This one.